Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Fopsy and I'm so happy you're here watching this video today. I have a series called How to Have a Stress-Free Wedding Planning, and today's topic is pretty much integral to the whole series. It's how to manage your emotions when planning a wedding, and I'm going to talk about some of the major things that stress people out and how to deal with those. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing I would say is if you're feeling stressed, it's normal. It's a pretty big event, the wedding itself, but also the life event that it is. There's a lot happening. There are many expectations that you put on yourself, that society puts on you, that your family puts on you, just a lot. So if you're feeling stressed, it's totally normal. If I'm looking down today, it's because I have my notes here, so I might just have to refer to them so that I have some things to say to you. So I was saying earlier that if you're feeling stressed, it's totally normal, but there's something you can do to manage your stress, and that's how you react to it. There are many things that can happen, but even more important than what happens, it's how you react to the things that happen, how you respond, rather. Because reacting is pretty much like instinctive, like somebody touches you and you jump. That's a reaction, but your response is kind of thought out. So if you take the time to think about your response, or to decide how you're going to react to whatever it is that's happening, then you can find that it's less stressful. Say, for example, you're 2 weeks to your wedding and your mom suddenly decides to invite 4 extra people that were never on the guest list, and you're thinking, I've already submitted my final numbers, how am I going to deal with this? Like, you can decide to focus on that and stress about it the whole day, or you can try to problem solve and maybe say, Mom, I can't invite all 4 people, I'm going to have only one, pick the one person you want. Or you might find that, you know what, I'm just going to invite them and they probably won't make it anyways because they're not going to get their visas this late in the process. But like, you truly have to decide what is important to you, because if you react to everything, you'll be stressed all the time. But you can choose to respond, and that's like a thought out process. And by the time you've taken the time to pause and take a deep breath, you might realize that this isn't even as important as you thought it was. So guys, don't react to things, respond to them, and take the time to do that. It's more important how you respond than it is what actually happens. The next thing I would say is that one other big thing that stresses people out is options and opinions. When you're planning a wedding, everybody has something to say. There's advice, you get wedding horror stories people tell you. The people that are so excited, they kind of want to make you plan their own dream wedding. Honestly, and this happens from well-meaning people, but also annoying people that are just in your life. My solution to this would be, start with a wedding vision. You and your partner should sit down and decide what your wedding vision should be. I have a video about this and I will link it over here so that you can watch what the wedding vision process is, how to come up with a wedding vision. But in a nutshell, when you and your partner sit down to decide what you want, then you think about what's feasible as well. So that's pretty much, even though you've dreamt about what you want, how possible is it? You think about what's possible out of that dream that you're having, and then you pick what your priorities are, and then you focus on those. So that helps you weed out options. So now when you're stressed by options and opinions, people are talking, there are 1,001 options, it's easier for you to decide if something is for you or if it's not for you, if you know already what your dream is, what your vision is. So if things are coming up that are not in line with your vision, it's easier to weed them out, because if everything is if you never have a vision, then pretty much everything is up for discussion. But if you have a vision, you know that not everything is up for discussion, because some things are just way out of your vision and you're like, no, that isn't happening. But the thing is that even with a vision, there's still last minute things that can happen that can stress you out. Say a vendor is slacking, someone has told you they're going to do something and now they're just not up to task. You can choose to be stressed about that, or you can just decide to sit down and problem solve. Is it too late to switch to a different vendor? Have I paid a deposit, or is this pretty much something like someone I can ditch and find somebody else? If it's someone you're stuck with, then you have to work with them to make it work. Maybe you would have to call them instead of emailing, because some people really suck at emailing or at articulating their thoughts on email. Maybe you'd have to visit them and deal with things in person. There's so many ways to deal with problems, but it's not. If you just fixate on the problem, then you might not get through to solutions. So yeah, that is that with being stressed with about options and opinions. The third thing I would say is there's another kind of stressor that happens that people get, and they're marriage related stressors. You can start to wonder, am I even ready for this whole thing I'm about to get into? Is this a bad choice. Maybe not bad, but like, am I getting ahead of myself? Do I really like this person that much? Is this the best I can do? Do I like how his family treats me? Can I deal with this? And honestly, these are very valid thoughts. And if you're thinking them, it's good that you've taken the time to pause in the middle of all this craziness of wedding planning and you're thinking about these. Take the time out away from people to actually address these questions. If you're having a serious problem with your partner, a broken relationship is way less expensive than a divorce or a broken marriage. Not just expensive in terms of money, but in terms of emotional stress that divorces tend to bring. So if you have serious concerns, it's okay to take a step back and evaluate where you're at. Even though you've spent a lot of money, you booked a venue, if you need to cancel this whole thing and get back to with your life, that's a very valid option as well. But you need to make sure that you're not making a rash decision. Sit down with the facts. Sometimes your emotions magnify things, they make things seem bigger than they are. So sit down with the facts. Is this person rude to you all the time? Do they minimize your dreams? Do they hit you? Do they talk bad about you? Do you feel like a worse person when you're with them? Do your friends all dislike them? Does your family dislike them with valid reasons, not just strange reasons? So think about the facts and decide if this is something that you need to take, if it's something you need to call off, or if it's just your emotions going wild. And then again, once you've thought about it, then talk about it with trusted friends, people that you actually trust to give you valid life advice. Anyways, people that you can trust to talk to when they have wisdom and that you've spoken to about important things in the past, so that you can think with other people, not just yourself. So yeah, when you're dealing with marriage related stressors, maybe you're not sure if you're ready for this, then think about the facts again. Sometimes emotions are just really louder than the facts. So make sure that you're not amplifying your emotions, you're not letting them run wild. And sometimes, honestly, it's just overthinking things. Maybe you're imagining that your marriage has to be like the Joneses, maybe because the mom in that family is a stay-at-home mom and you think you have to suddenly give up your own career. That doesn't have to be your case. So remember that you can also be overthinking things, and marriage is not one size fits all. You will find what works for you and your partner. So think about things clearly and don't let your emotions make you make a rash decision. But if you do need to cancel a wedding because you have realized that this is a mistake you're making, it's better to do that before you get married. It's less stressful than a divorce would be. All right, the fifth thing I would say is something else that makes people really stressed is poor organizational skills. It could be things like not planning the money matters before actually starting the wedding planning. So people just signing contracts before they've actually decided how much they have to spend. Or it could be realizing that you don't have any more money to spend and there's still a lot more to be paid for. And I have a video about budgeting as well that I'll plug in here. You should sit down with your partner and decide on your budget and stick with it. Make active efforts to stick with it. Aside making these budgets, you should also use apps. There are a lot of great apps out there that can help you stay organized. They're the good old wedding ones like Wedding Wire, The Knot. But even Google Sheets can help you with tracking your budget, keeping track of timelines. When is this payment due? How much have I paid in deposit and how much is left? So that you're not running crazy. Being on top of things in terms of organization can help you feel less stressed, less anxious, and more in charge of this whole planning process, like a boss that you are. So the fifth thing here is that I have written is teamwork. Don't forget that you have a partner who is planning this wedding with you. It's not just you. So make use of them. You might even find that some of the things that you really suck at, your partner is great at them. Maybe you don't like going for in-person meetings, but your partner is available to do that. He has a car, he has the means to talk to people. So just designate tasks to your partner, your friends who are willing to help, and don't think you have to do everything by yourself. You have a team of people who are most likely excited to help you. People really are happy about weddings. So if you have friends, now is a good time to get them involved. I'm sure they're happy to help. Don't take it all on by yourself. There's a team of people who are likely willing to help you. But then again, think about your skill set. Don't give somebody who is poorly organized the job of keeping you organized. Give creative people creative tasks. Give organized people organization related tasks. Basically, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, think about your friends and your partner and their skill sets and designate tasks to them, and also use apps to keep you organized, to pretty much stay on top of your game in terms of organization. And if you're truly feeling like you're stressed and you're at your wit's end, get help. Help in terms of family, but also professional help, like a wedding planner or a wedding coordinator or a partial planner. There are a lot of, I have another video as well about wedding planner and deciding whether you need one or not. There are full wedding planners who do everything and you just have to pay them to do things. There are partial planners and there are day of coordinators. All of them offer varying degrees of planning services and also for varying costs. So you can find one that works within your budget and hire one if you're feeling really stressed, because this doesn't have to be stressful. It's just a giant party to celebrate your union. Which also leads to my final point. Honestly, when it all said and done, rather, this is just a wedding. And let that sink in for a minute or a second. There's a lot that you can do, a lot of money you can spend. There are many ways you can celebrate your coming together with your partner. But if you think about it, it's just a giant party where you're having friends and family come to celebrate your union. So don't overdo this. Don't overdo it financially. Don't overdo it emotionally. This is not worth losing your mind over. Our society has like majorly amplified weddings. There's so many options in Pinterest, Instagram. The options feel limitless, but limit yourself. Give yourself a vision to work with. Stick within your budget, and don't feel like you have to do everything people do. If you don't want a second dress and you're not having a long ceremony, don't get a second dress. If you don't think you're into dancing, don't get a DJ. If you really are strapped for cash, do it in your parents' backyard. There's so many ways you can do this to work for you financially, to keep things small and intimate or as big as you want. Just make sure that you remember that it's just a wedding. This doesn't have to be stressful. And also you can set emotional boundaries. If things are feeling out of whack, take a day off. Have a date with your partner that you totally turn off wedding related things. Talk about yourselves, your plans for your future, your day, exciting things in your life. Do things that you love. If you love to golf, if you love to do YouTube videos, if you love to edit pictures, like just do your normal thing. Don't let your whole life be bent on weddings. Like just enjoy your life and realize that this is just a wedding and you have the rest of your life ahead. So this is the end of my video, guys, but I would love you to add something to this. What do you think? What are you doing right now if you're wedding planning that is helping you stay sane? And if you've never planned a wedding but you've planned events, or you've had a friend who got married and you've been involved, what would you add to this? What other tips would you say brides to be, grooms to be who are watching this should have in their toolkit to stay sane? Anyways, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you to stay sane while you plan a wedding. Thank you very much for watching this video. I would love you to subscribe and stick around, watch another video. I have a whole lot of other videos about weddings, but also about non-wedding related things like life and love in general. My name is Fopsy, and thank you for staying around and watching this video. Please subscribe before you leave and be back. Bye.